All right, Bomb Squad, welcome to episode 91 of TNT. It's our send off to Tones before he goes to the last frontier, Alaska, for the week.
A bon voyage, if you will.
Bon voyage. By the time you guys are hearing this, he will be in Alaska, which is just.
I will be balls deep in Eskimo pussy.
It's such a that's a good trip. That's one people don't do very often, you know?
Yeah, because it's so far and it's like so isolated, and people just think like Alaska, like, dude, you just be cold as fuck. It's like, nah, like it's beautiful there right now. This is the perfect time to go there.
Yeah, it's probably like, is it like light out all the time? Is it like a weird thing like that?
It's very Midsommar-esque. 21 hours a day. There's light.
That's crazy. And then because I know like December through like March, it's like dark every single day, and that's like why you don't want to live in Alaska, because it's just like it'll drive you nuts.
Depressing as shit.
Yeah.
Well, did I give you that movie 30 Days a Night with the vampires?
In that town in Alaska. Yeah,
exactly. So that's what you got to watch out for, vampires.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I heard that all the rooms have like blackout shades just so you can sleep at night, just so you don't have like the sun just like shining right in your face, you know?
Yeah. Got to watch out for, bears, wolves.
Bears, yep.
Elk. But mooses. Meese. You got to take a lot of pictures too.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
That's going to be good. So how do you get there? Do you like fly to like Seattle or some shit?
Yeah, we fly to Seattle, then we fly up to Fairbanks, which is like right in the middle of the state.
Okay.
And then from there, over the course of like 4 or 5 days, we make our way down to Anchorage, which is where we get on the boat.
Okay.
And then we make a couple stops and slowly make our way down to Vancouver. And that's
a hell of a travel day.
Yeah. Well, it's oh, you mean the Seattle to
Anchorage.
It is a 6-hour flight to Seattle.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, and then a couple hours up to Alaska. So it's a long day. But you know what? I won't be in a fish department, so that I'll take that day any day.
That's good. But so we have a Saturday show, world famous segments, classic 4-pack. We're going to talk about the leftovers today.
Finally.
I've been dying to talk about this show for so long. I'm so pumped. So we're going to cover season 1 today, and then we're going to break it up that way. Do it.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay.
Season 1. Do you want to do all 3 seasons today?
I meant like do all 3, just like kind of break up the discussion into 3 parts. I mean, we can see how long it goes.
Yeah. We'll see when we get there, because there's a lot to break down. But yeah. All right. So let's start it. Let's get into segments. Hit it, Taylor Hicks. Okay. Segment number 1, a little Wednesday evening horse race at Del Mar. There was the guy was saying before they went to commercials, he sounded really excited. He's like, we have a huge announcement for app users everywhere and people who bet horses everywhere. There's this big like news coming up, and I haven't gotten it yet. So that's something we're going to have to look for afterwards. But okay, so it's Del Mar race 1. I have $10 on the 2-horse Secret Courier. I just like the look of the horse. Okay, 7-1. You got the favorite, 4-5. You bet in the house, $25.
Yep, the house. Julius, his name. Don't forget it.
Julius
the horse.
All right, they're in the gates. Crowd is going wild. And I am out to a fast lead here, but it is a fucking long race.
It is. Is it muddy? It looks kind of muddy.
It's dry. All right, Julius. I'm 1. He's 2.
What's your horse's name? Julius and
Secret Courier. We'll call him Dave Courier.
Dave Courier. Okay. Full house. Shout out. Uncle Joey.
Uncle Joey. Yeah.
That guy had something going on. I don't trust him.
Don't slow down now.
Go, Julius.
Don't slow down. All right. Press him harder. What are you slowing up for? You get the fucking lead.
Go, Julius.
I'm fighting off Julius. Julius is 4-5. I'm 7-1.
Julius starts now to breathe.
Okay.
Making his move.
Julius
making his move. Julius is a fucking stallion. Let's go, Julius. Let's go, Julius. Make the move, Julius.
Okay, he jumped me. He jumped me.
Fuck.
We still got some
Don't
time.
give up. Don't give up.
Julius, he's going to run away with this.
Come on, Dave Coulier.
They go clear to lead it by 2.5 lengths. Secret Courier is back in second.
That's it. That's
Cat.
it.
But
Call it off.
Julius is
Call it off.
well clear with
Damn it.
to go. And they would need to
What'd you win? 5 cents?
Like $20, I think. Let's
No,
see.
that's not how it works.
No?
All right. Well, you want. I think you win. What's 4 divided by 5? It's like
4
I don't know.
fifths. And I bet 25. 4 fifths of 25 is 20.
20. Yeah, 25 times 4/5
Let's
is what
see.
you won.
I won $45 total. Yeah. Yeah, I won $20.
You won $20. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's good. That was great. That was a great play.
Let's
Maybe
go.
we should just bet fucking
Just
bet the fucking favorites. Bet the house on the favorites and then just collect and then you can do what I do.
Yeah.
I am in a hole with this horse racing. I haven't won in months. I suck at it now. And anyway, all right, let's get to our second segment here. Ask a Fat Guy. So, my question is, do people stare at you like you're a zoo animal?
Only if I'm at the pool or something.
Okay.
The shirt off.
That's not really my question. I
Yeah.
was going to say, like, my question is, when's the baby due? But that's not so I didn't. Does your weight fluctuate, or are you just like a stern?
I've been around. I've been within like a 10-pound range the last like couple of years, probably like 240, 250.
Okay.
But overall, I mean, everyone's different. But at one point, like right when I went to college, I was probably like around 200. So I mean, that's sad, depressing to think
50
about.
pounds. Jesus Christ, how you be
Over
doing?
the course of like 8 years, though. I mean, 9 years. I mean, it's 5 pounds a year. Who's
Yeah.
But no, and I was probably in the best shape of my life at that point. But even still, I was 200. Like I just have a big frame,
Yeah.
Um,
And like, because I know like a lot of the big guys, like I can't tell once you're like 220, you can go to 250. I really won't notice for the most
Yeah.
part, Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, I'll notice if I really look up close, but big guys are just, I feel like once you hit like 220, 225, or I guess in your case, 240, 250 now, you're not going to go to 260, it's just kind of, you're set. That's your base.
I mean, I could if I wanted to.
Yeah.
If I really wanted to, I could definitely make the push. Just don't have the incentive right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of my weight is in my legs. I got big legs,
Fat legs.
No, they're very muscular.
The muscular legs.
Like even like when I used to work out, like it's been a while, but
Nope.
when I used to work out, like I would go on the leg press and like instantly just be putting up like 300, 400 pounds, no problem.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't have done legs in like months, and I just go on there, just like bang out some leg presses. Some say I'm half centaur. But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, I don't fluctuate too much. I'm usually in the same vicinity, and like that's good and bad because like I don't go up too much, but also it's just like a bitch to get down.
Yeah. Do people assume that you're good at bowling?
I'm actually terrible at bowling.
You look like a bowler.
If I get over 100, that's like a great game for me.
Yeah.
I'm just not good at bowling. You know what it is? Is like I just throw it as hard as I can every time. I don't aim it. I don't do whatever. I always try to spin it. I try to like, put the spin on it to make it look like I know what I'm doing. And just like if I don't use bumpers, I'm fucked.
Bumpers.
Yeah.
What do you? Yeah.
I mean, I
think we
don't
brought
use
this up. I think we brought this up before. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
no,
I wanted to get into bowling for a little bit, but that went out the window.
I mean, I don't use bumpers, but like that's why I don't break 100.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually between like 60 and 90, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that I broke the record when I tried out for the bowling team as a joke at high school, and I had the worst score in history?
Really?
It was so embarrassing. We went as a joke, and the joke became very unfunny to me very quickly.
What
I was
it?
getting laughed at by the bowler. I rolled a 53.
Oh.
I just couldn't get it out of the gutters, man. I kept I was
Yeah.
slicing him into the woods, basically. Like on my follow through, I just push him in the gutters. Like we went there as a joke, and I was like, everybody's like, "Oh, this is fucking free round of bowling or whatever." And I was sitting there just embarrassing myself. I was so embarrassed. I told the coach I rolled a 93 or something like that. Just like it's not good, but it's also not embarrassing. And then he caught me like an hour later. I thought I got away with it, and he was looking at the scores while I was up, and he's just like 53. He told me he had a 94. I was just like, I had a 53. Oh, I must have miscounted. Like an idiot I am.
I actually have an uncle that bowls like pretty consistently. He's like in the league and everything. He averages like 200. It's ridiculous.
It's gotta be pretty fun.
If you're good at it, you know. But like I love the people that they don't like they wear the glove and they don't use the finger holes. They just like palm the ball and they like
they cradle it and they fucking spin it and it's I like to roll it straight, My friends, they got real into it and they're all spinning it now and they're just like, Tom, you got to try it. I tried it once and I almost broke my wrist and I almost dropped the ball on my ankle. It's way harder than it looks.
Yeah, you seem just like a straightforward kind of just like slug it in there kind of guy,
I aim for like the left side of the pin and I just want to throw a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah.
And like I'll get like a few strikes, but then like gutter ball and then a 6, and my score will be demolished. I'll lose focus.
Yeah. See, my problem is I look at the like some of the newer ones have like the radar gun, and I just try to break my speed. I'm just like, let's go.
Yeah.
And just like it's like a shotgun. You don't know where it's going. Just get spray and spread. It just goes all over the place.
It's fun. Like you get it back and it's like 118 miles an hour, but you got one pin. You like got the one last pin before the gutter. Oh man. All right. So that's good. Good talk there.
Yeah.
Segment number 3, Ask a Skinny Guy.
So I want to know if you have, and if that is the case that you have, how do you forget to eat like a meal? Like, how does that happen?
I don't.
Like, I forgot to eat lunch today. Like that never happens for me.
That doesn't happen to me very much either. Like, well, because when I do have to go into the office, I don't like the cafeteria. I text you about it all the time. I'll just not eat. Like, I don't like going down there. It's way too intimidating. There's so many people, and I don't want to get into the, I don't want to chat with them. And then plus I'm going to be sitting by myself. So like, I just sit there in this massive crowd of McCormick and like, I'm faced like buried in the phone, like eating whatever it is. Cause I don't have a desk anymore. So I did to bring it to this little office. And even if like I did have a desk, but the desk I had is like open and they're all connected. So like people are just gonna be sitting there watching me eat. Like, I don't know.
See what I used to do. I mean, when I worked at Pepsi for a summer, what I used to do is because again, I was the same way. I didn't want to just like sit there by myself. So I just bring it back to my desk and make it look like I was working. It's like, oh my God, he works so hard. He works through his lunch, just kind of give off that impression that you're super hard working. Like I just don't get it. Cause like I hear people say like, oh, I forgot to eat lunch today. Like
well, you know what I do? Cause I got up to 190 pretty quickly when I moved down here. I haven't ordered food in forever. That's where the pounds come in. So I just cooked. So I made like a big old fucking cheeseburger for lunch today. Like I handcrafted the beef and did that. It's bad for you, but like, it's just not as salty and fatty as like, cause you get all the sides and like the minimum order quantities on Grubhub and stuff. It's like, oh, you have to add $4.99 to your order. It's like, might as well get a big bucket of French fries too.
Yeah. My problem is like, I just look at the menu and I want everything. I just don't order. Like yesterday I got from this wing place. So I got 7 wings, I got a cheesesteak, and then I got like tater tots, like loaded tater tots. Yeah. I just kept like ordering shit. I ate it all.
Yeah. I'll never, that's probably the answer that we're looking for. So when that happens, us skinny guys will never be able, there's just not enough space down there. Like you feel awful after half of it. So like I get the shit. Yeah. I just don't have the ability to eat like all of what I order. I very rarely finish meal. Like even when we go out to dinner, unless it's a steak, I'll eat the whole fucking steak, no matter how big it is. That's my one food that I can devour. But when it comes to like, when I get a whole pizza, I'll have 2 slices, put it in the fridge, have 2 for lunch the next day, and then whatever's left for dinner the next day. If I get a big bowl of pasta, no shot, I'm finishing the whole thing. Like Chinese, I'll eat the whole thing.
Yeah. See, the carbs fill you up. That's what it is. The pasta, the pizza.
Right.
But like even if I get a pizza, like I can easily eat 5 slices.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Joe, what he does with food. And it's like, he's just like,
he's on another level.
He was like a surgeon with food. Like it just like just would go in and just like pick it apart.
I remember he'd get Chipotle, and he'd get a side of sour cream and a side of guac, and he'd have a knife, and like every bite would have like the exact like perfect ratio of like sour cream to guac to salsa. You take a bite, and then he'd like lather up the other side and take a bite.
It was insane.
Like he would go to Taco Bell. He's like, oh, you got to make sure you order this with the lava sauce, and then he just had like he knew all the ins and outs of like every fucking fast food place.
Seriously, yeah,
Wow.
and you know, it's a blessing. You know, it's nice. It's just like having a small stomach, but it goes with frame and genetics. Like if I had a bigger frame that I could fill, I'm sure I would like. If I'm baked out of my mind that I'm just like hungry,
Yeah,
I could probably have, you know, whatever it is. I could have the whole thing.
Mhm.
But when like, you know, it's just like a small stomach. It's just I can only fit so much.
Yeah, there's
before
only so much that'll fit in there.
you're just like I'm so fucking full. Like all my friends at home are fat. Like all of them. Like we go out to eat and they're just like, "You can eat that?"
You eat your fat.
I'll get a 12 like wings order, and I'll have like 4 or 5. That's all I need. You know,
You disgust me.
I know. I want to be the guy who could just like eat wings, you know, but like I look terrible doing it. Like I always leave meat on the bone. Like I just can't pick it apart. My friends are over there just like in the mouth, and then like they just pull it out.
Yeah.
They just pull the bone. That's the other thing the big guys can do really well is eat wings.
See, I don't do that, but a little fun fact. When we were in high school, me and Paulie Sirloins, we went to B-Dubs, and we did the like spicy, the hot challenge or whatever like their hottest sauces.
Blazing.
Yeah. And you have to eat it, you know, in a certain amount of time. And Paulie Sirloins blew everyone out of the water. Like you had 5 minutes. I did it like 4 and change. He did it like 2.5 minutes.
That's incredible.
Like he took the drumsticks, and that's what he did. He just went and just like put the whole thing in his mouth and just pulled it out like clean. I was like,
They put
what?
it in their mouth. They like keep their mouth shut, and they like twist it like it's a key.
Yeah.
And they twist it back, and then they just pull out the bone. And it's perfectly clean. And then they just like my buddy Balls, who's a big guy. He just like he'll pull it out. It does that, and then like you look over because he's like really weirdly organized. His plate of like bones is just like perfectly stacked.
It's got like a house of bones, like house.
Yeah,
of cards.
yeah, exactly. Like he makes a little log cabin out of them. And I can't even eat 4 wings. It's fucking disgraceful. I tried the blazing challenge. I embarrassed myself.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
No, just fuck you, skinny people.
All right. Let's get to our 4th segment here, which is a history lesson. What am I learning about?
It's been a while.
Yep. Yes, it has.
So today we're going to go over the tale of Pedro Francisco, aka Peter Francisco, aka the Virginia Giant, aka the Giant of the Revolution, aka the Virginia Hercules.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I didn't either until today. So he's one of the unsung heroes of the Revolutionary War, right? Now this dude was rumored to be 6'8", 260 pounds.
Damn.
Which
That's
back
like
then,
that's the Undertaker.
yeah, which back then, I mean, I tried to do a little research, find the average size of like the soldiers. The average American soldier was about 5'8", but the average British soldier was like 5'5".
Okay. Yeah.
So like this guy was a giant, like a literal giant. So he was from Portugal originally. One day they when he was 5 years old, someone just found him on the docks in Virginia. They have no idea how he got there. Rumor is that like someone kidnapped him. He's from a wealthy family, apparently. Someone kidnapped him and tried to hold him for ransom, and it didn't work, and they just kind of ditched him in Virginia. I don't know. His whole backstory is kind of cloudy. No one really knows exactly where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
But he was said by George Washington, who George Washington knew of him and knew him, said that he swung the momentum of like several key battles because he would always be on the front lines and he would just go out there just mauling people.
Oh man!
Like they said, he swung a 6-foot broadsword. Right, this just giant man just like cut people in half. Just like there's stories of like guys riding by on horses and just like grabbing them off the horse and like beating them to death with his hands. Like just
damn,
a savage. So I have some like stories I found of him.
Okay,
kind of legends. So I'm just going to read it off of Wikipedia. He was part of General Mad Anthony Wayne's attack on the British fort Stony Point on the Hudson River. Upon attacking the fort, Francisco suffered a 9-inch gash in the stomach, but continued to fight. He was the second person to enter the fort. He killed 3 British grenadiers and captured the enemy flag himself. So before he even got in, he just like his stomach was cut open, and he still just fought his way through. Yeah,
is that where he died?
No, he lived through the war. Like he got wounded, he got shot multiple times, stabbed with bayonets multiple times. Like, it's like the gash in his stomach, like, and he would just like take a couple weeks off and like rub some dirt on it and be back.
Yeah, getting shot with a musket, like it was probably like getting hit with paintballs,
or like a BB gun or something. Yeah, that big.
Bounce off you.
This one is the craziest, in my opinion. After the Battle of Camden in South Carolina, the Americans like lost the battle and they were retreating, and he noticed that one of the American cannons was stuck in the mud, and they would have to leave it, and the British would have got it.
Yeah.
So what he did was, and now the weight of this cannon is, a couple of different sources varied from 300 pounds to 1,100 pounds, but he picked the cannon up on his shoulder and walked it out so the British couldn't get it. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he just put it like it was a fucking like a rug or something, just threw it over the shoulder and just walked out with a fucking
I'm literally thinking of like Game of Thrones, the Giants, like what it would be like having one of them on your side.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. And for a little time, I found this kind of funny, but he was spying on one of the British generals in the armies, which is like this guy, like back then, someone who's 6'8", 260.
Not a great spy.
Not a great spy. And this is what happened. So he was outside a tavern and he got surrounded by it was General Tarleton's men. That's the guy.
Oh.
9 guys, and they were ordered to arrest him. And they told him, like, give me your shoe buckles, because they were silver, which was valuable at the time. And he told him, he's like, you can take it, then you can have it, kind of deal. And so they went to go get it, and he took one of the guy's swords, just fucking hit him over the head with it, knocked him out. A guy went to go pull out a pistol to shoot him, just like grazed him a little bit. He like cut the dude's hand off with the sword. And then another guy had a musket, went to shoot it at him, like point blank, misfired, didn't shoot. He grabbed the gun and beat the guy to death with the gun. And out of the 9 guys, I think he killed 3, incapacitated everybody, and ended up coming away with 8 of their horses.
That what an asset. I mean, like, this guy sounds like he single-handedly won the war.
Yeah, but more or less like several key battles. He was like, because he would just be like, he was in the vanguard. Like the guys that just run in first. So like, I don't know how good of a shot he was, but my guess is he would just kind of stand behind the lines, and once they charged, he would like kind of step up and do his thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So he was, because I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast and they were talking about him, and it's just like blowing my mind, some of these stories.
Man, that's awesome. I mean, how is there not a movie on this guy?
I know.
Or just a good revolutionary war. Like The Patriot was made. I feel like we haven't really touched that subject too much since, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you asked me before I found out about this guy, I'd be like, well, we kind of told everything there is about it. But like, now that I know this guy existed, and I didn't know that for the first 26 years of my life, like I need a movie on this guy.
Yeah, it was 1776. I mean, it was like, there's so much there that like is not, talked about.
Oh, and by the way, when he joined the army, he was 16.
Okay, so
he was already a fucking like giant amongst men.
That's
16.
That's awesome though.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he joined. He squatted up with us.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been. Could you like he was almost a foot and a half taller than most of these British troops. Imagine like you just see this savage just running at you with a 6-foot long sword.
Yeah, I'd be terrified.
People in half.
Especially the Brits. They're probably like, retreat.
And even like if he walked in my house right now, like I'm 5'10", like that's still almost a full foot taller than me, and he's probably fucking built because he's 260. If I'm 250 this size and he's 260 that size, like he's jacked.
He's a fucking right tackle. Like he's fucking like Nate Solder.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, yeah, that's awesome.
Nate Solder fired a bunch of jockeys.
What was his name?
Well, his original name was Pedro Francisco, but when he came here, they Americanized it to Peter Francisco.
Peter. Okay, Peter Francisco. I like that. That's good. I'm not going to forget about this guy.
Yeah.
That's something. Probably gonna go give this history lesson to people at work tomorrow. Hey, you ever heard of Peter Francisco, Revolutionary War, 6'8", 260? Big fucking guy. Single-handedly won us the war.
6 foot sword swinging around.
Washington takes all the credit, but this guy was fucking sweet.
No, Washington, like in a lot of his letters, like mentions him, like how he like single-handedly like swung the tide of a battle.
Yeah, George was a big dude too. George was. I was actually just reading his Wikipedia page the other day for some reason. I was actually doing like a lot of like beginning founding fathers politics. Like I found out, I was looking at it, I was like, I might like politically agree with the Whig Party. I didn't know, like, you know, like it's like the middle class, like we want them to thrive, but all the Whig presidents did a terrible job, so their ideas didn't work. But Washington was just a quiet man, big frame, no.
Was he like 6'2" or something?
Yeah, which was like because everybody's 6'8", like 5'8". He's like, and they said like when he was in the room, he was the alpha. Like no matter where he went, it's like it's fucking George Washington's here.
Unless he was in the room with Peter Francisco.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Let's get to our fifth and final segments here. It's Binge-aholics. Time to talk about The Leftovers. So we'll start with season 1, and we'll figure out exactly how we want to go about this. So season 1, October 14th.
Yeah, October 14th.
2% of the world's population just disappears. Right? Fucking poof. And now it's just like, what is it? 3 years later now. That's where the show picks up.
Something like that. 2 or 3 years, yeah, around there.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's established like how people have moved on. Like enough time has passed where you see like where people's heads are at. So cults start, right? So you have the guilty remnant.
Yep.
Who they just sit around, smoke cigarettes at all times, and their whole fucking thing is to make sure nobody ever forgets what happens, because it's a good way. It's cool. Like if it did happen in real life, people would just be like, hey, like, you know, it'd be like 9/11, like never forget, like, you know, this happened. But it's like people kind of move past it, where they don't want you to move past it. You know, it's like, think about what like you're forgetting. You like, even though you're saying you don't forget, you're forgetting what the fuck happened. People just fucking up and vanished. Like,
I mean, it's tough. I mean, you don't want to forget, but like you move on, you go through life, and it's just like you get preoccupied with the current, and you forget about the past. And that's what the guilty remnant is. They just don't want people to forget.
Right, because they believe, you find out later. I don't know if I'm going to just draw because we know everything. They believe the world ended that day. Yeah. Right. So that's their whole thing. So they don't want to like they don't talk. It's a vow of silence. They just smoke cigarettes, and their whole motto is don't waste your breath. World ended. Like you guys could sit here and have your parades and talk about shit, but like the world ended. Fuck you.
And they have probably, I don't know if it's the best or the worst recruitment tactics of all time.
They just go stand outside your house
and chain smoke. Yeah.
Get off my lawn. They just stare at you and just puff away.
Yeah. It's like, but it works for some people. They're just like, what do you want? What do you want from me? And it's like, all right, fine, I'll join you. Just get the fuck off my lawn.
You fucking creeps. I don't know how I'd deal with them. I would probably just be like, morning.
Yeah, I'd just run them over with my car.
Which
off my lawn.
Happens in the show. Somebody does that.
Yeah.
I think completely got away with it too.
Yeah, I think it was Lori. Like,
Lori did.
Yeah.
Classic
hit and run. Her car was fine, even though she just fucking went 40 miles an hour through two people.
Up. Yeah. They must have fell and they went under the wheels, I guess. But all right. By the way, do you follow Ian Rappaport and get text alerts from him? I mean,
no. Okay. Like Twitter updates or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
He's fucking busy right now out of nowhere. Like, shut up, Ian.
What's going on?
Something with Miami Dolphins.
Shit. Give a fuck.
So there's the cult aspect. Then you have like the people who just want to move on, which is the main character. He's just a cop. He just wants to keep the peace, you know, and he just wants to pretend like it, you know, it happened. Let's move forward. And his wife is left him and went to the guilty remnant.
Right.
So he's single, raising his daughter, and then his son, who was freaked out by it, went to Texas to go work for another different weird cult by this guy who was pretty much acting like Jesus Christ.
Holy Wayne. He would hug the pain away.
Now, am I remembering this correctly? In like the first episode when you meet Holy Wayne, did Holy Wayne try to get a fucking blowjob from him?
I don't know. I missed that.
I'm pretty sure he did. He might
have alluded to it.
He pulled his, I'm pretty sure he pulled his pants out and like went like this, and Tommy was like ready to go down, and he's like, nah, I can't do it. And he's just like, one day you will learn. It was like the first episode.
Really?
Or like the second. It was fucking weird. So that's why I thought it was like, oh, this guy's like a fucking false prophet, you know?
Yeah, well, and you kind of see it because he has a thing for Asian chicks. Like he has like a stable of like Asian teenage girls that he
Yep.
just impregnates, and eventually it all goes to shit. And I don't know, it's some made up government agency that like deals with cults.
Yeah.
There's like ATFC, like alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and cults or some shit like that. And they do a raid, and then what's his name? Tommy runs away with one of the Asian girls, and he's supposed to protect them. Like the whole time, Wayne's just like, "Oh, like don't worry, like we'll just lay low for like a couple weeks, we'll get you." And he's just with her for like months.
Yeah.
Just on the road, living in like flea bag motels.
And she's pregnant. With
And
Wayne
she's
Baby.
pregnant, and then eventually she gives birth and everything.
She leaves the baby and runs off, and then he's stuck with the baby. Tommy is.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's people acting like that, and then you have Matt, another main character who's a priest, and like his whole thing is trying to figure out how it all makes sense through the religious aspect of it. Just to draw it all back, I mean, this is where the show goes. The ending, of the whole series, without like talking about the scene, the whole point, because even if you're gonna watch it, like it's not really that big of a spoiler, but like it just fucking happened. Like that's the deal. Like you can go ahead and spend the rest of your life looking for a fucking reason, but what if it just fucking happened for no reason? Nobody's gonna accept that.
Yeah, I mean, it could have just been like an anomalous, fucking occurrence. Like just like maybe God didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe he did, but maybe it was just like some freak of law of nature that just like. So, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, like it could have just been like some kind of
science thing, like maybe the planets were like if this happened in real life, it would be fucked up because you're like, when the hell is it going to happen again? Like you have to search for a reason, because I don't want to sit here and like all of a sudden it just fucking happens again. So you need to find out like the cause. If it was like a Stargate or something, or it's like a black hole open in the universe. But like everybody was so
dimension,
everybody was so weirdly dispersed. The 2%, like it was from all different countries, and like it wasn't like specific areas. It was like one person here, 3 people over there, like only like half the grocery store went, and they go wherever, poof, and then you have to fucking figure out like what the hell happened. But I like it because it kind of like it leaves it open so you can kind of believe like what happened to him yourself. So I like to think that it was God, but it was the Old Testament God, and his whole thing was like, why did you do it? Because I could.
Yeah. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And maybe it was some kind of Sodom and Gomorrah kind of thing where it's just like, you guys are being real dicks and not abiding by my laws. So you know what? I'm going to teach you a lesson
and see how you react.
Yeah. And you kind of see it in the first episode with that like ridiculous like spin the bottle game.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's people that go the super religious route, and they're like, they become super religious after the fact. But then there's also people that are just like, why would God do this? Like, fuck it. Like, let's just do what we want,
Right.
And you see that, I mean, there, and then, and like with Wayne, there's people that claim that they're like a prophet or they're a God, and they try to give people answers and they try to heal people or whatever. And it's I don't know. It's crazy, man. Just see how
a ton of people, like I think the viewer too, when it first happens, like, I mean, my first thought was like, these 2% went to heaven and like the rest of the people are like in purgatory or something like that. And they have to like figure their shit out and then they can go. But then like they start to expose like the priest is doing like all this research because he's obsessed. He's like, no, this one guy who fucking disappeared, raped a girl like 2 days before it happened.
Yeah.
Like, this guy did this. And like, this one was a child molester. This person was good, but like, it was just a very mixed bag of people. It made no sense.
So basically saying like, it was random. There wasn't like,
which
kind of goes against
what he's looking for.
Right. Yeah. Or maybe because, after everyone disappeared, people kind of, it's like when, I mean, I've never really had this happen to someone I know, but when someone dies and they're an asshole, but like everyone like looks upon them fondly after they're dead. Maybe he's just like
XXX Stanchion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect example. It's like, no, he was a piece of shit, but like, R.I.P. He's with up in heaven now. It's like, no, he's not.
Yeah, but it's interesting though with Matt is because like he knows that like it's just a random group, but like he's a priest, he believes in God, so he's like he's got to find a reason why God would do something like that. So his plot line is fucking, and he does a great job acting as a priest. He was my favorite character by far. I loved him. But
he probably went through the most shit. Well, no, I guess Kevin probably did, but he was a close second.
So Kevin the cop. So kind of all over the place. Pretty much just explained like most of what the show is.
Yeah, without talking about the main character.
Right. So Kevin is a cop in Millbury Township, New York.
Mapleton.
Well, yeah. So it's pretty much like your town.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you this, but a lot of like the scenes, like the background, the scenery, it's like right near my house. Like the Tappan Zee Bridge is in a couple scenes. Like that's a 5-minute drive from where I'm at.
Yeah.
And even like there was one scene I remember where you saw like a train going by, and like that is the train that's the Hudson line. That's what I take to get to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Like I've ridden down that track numerous times.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's a made up town. I mean, there is a Mapleton, but it's like way upstate New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's supposed to be kind of like in the Westchester area. But yeah, he's the police chief, and it just kind of follows him, because like you said, his wife joined the Guilty Remnant. It's just him trying to raise his daughter by himself, and you can tell from the start he's starting to lose it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a lot for one guy to, between trying to keep a town from like imploding on itself with the Guilty Remnant and like the town folk, and then like dealing with his daughter, and then
and he saw it firsthand too, because you learn like when the disappearance happened, he was about to cheat on his wife with.
Well, he was mid cheat, he was mid bone sesh.
Yeah,
and the girl just disappeared. He's lucky his dick didn't go with her. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so he starts to slowly lose his mind. His dad, who is also a former police chief, completely lost his mind. You think he makes sense, but you find out later he's completely a nut job. Yeah. So it kind of like is a genetic thing, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he starts to slowly lose his mind. And it then he finds a partner, a girl named Nora, at like a high school reunion or something.
Some shit like that, yeah. Who her entire family, her 2 kids and her husband, all departed.
Yeah, so that's like, so this show makes you cry a ton. So that's like, that was one of them. Like, she's one of the very few people that lost everybody in her life at once. Like, she was just in the kitchen. They were all having fucking breakfast, and she was yelling at him because the kid spilled his drink. And she's like, "I told you to fucking hold the cup." And she's like, "Two hands, two hands." Just turned around and go fucking get like a towel, and they just fucking up and poofed. Yeah, and like, yeah, she became a bitch. Like, she was a bitch, man. I wasn't the biggest Nora fan.
No, but, yeah, I mean, she was. I mean, she kind of had a right to be a bitch. I mean, she'd been through a lot.
She also just really like wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. It's like, I mean, we have to talk about like you losing your entire family every 5 seconds. Like, why don't you go join the Guilty Remnant and never forget it, huh?
Yeah. I don't know. But so they ended up getting together, and they're kind of perfect because they're both kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then she does all this shit. Like, one of the things she does is she hires hookers to come over. And she wears a bulletproof vest, and she's like, "Just shoot me in the chest," because I guess to feel alive, or I don't know what the deal is, but
it's a weird fetish.
Yeah, definitely not your standard fetish. But they end up, towards the end, I think she's about to break up with him. Like, she's gonna move or something. She's like, I can't do it here.
So her whole thing is because she lost everybody. She's so fucked up, like she can't get close to anybody anymore. Like, she wants to, but she's terrified that it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
So that's why she's spending like all this time. Her new government job is to go find out if she goes and interviews people who lost somebody at the departure, and she has to establish whether or not they departed or if they happen to die on that day. Yeah. If they departed, then they can get like an insurance bonus. So she has to like detect insurance fraud and all that stuff. It's a fucked up job.
Especially for someone who lost everybody, that, like that's your life. You can't forget about it when that is every day of your life.
But she's so good at it because she's interviewing people who had lost people, but she lost everybody. So she's able to just do the job. But she's like asking like old people who lost like their grandchild. It's just like, did he used to masturbate to gay porn? And they're just like, I don't know.
Did he participate in sodomy?
Like millions of like fucked up questions for these people. And you have to find out if they departed or if they divorced, which is like, that was like, there's a little bits like that or make it such a fucking incredible show. It's like, yeah, like this would happen. Like people can easily lie. And like, if you murdered somebody, you could just be like, nah, they departed. Like, fucking.
Well, there was that one, like they showed it on the news briefly at one point, and he comes in again in the 3rd season. But there was a guy who was on a TV show, and there was 4 cast members, and 3 of them disappeared, but he didn't. So he ended up like running away to Mexico because he felt left out. And they went down there and they found him in Mexico. Like they TMZ'd him, and he was just like, no hablo español, no hablo inglés. And he like ran away. But
yeah. But so that's an interesting part of it. And then so I think we should table it for the next time you get back, because season 2 is a lot to talk about, and so is season 3. So it's kind of like, because I also want to give the Bomb Squad an opportunity to watch the show.
True, yeah, that's true.
You'll have like 2 weeks now that you're going to Alaska. And it's only 3 seasons, and it's how many? It's 10 episodes, 7 episodes, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It's 7 or 8. But real quick before we finish, and we kind of didn't talk about how it finished. So I mean, well, Kevin, he's kind of losing his mind with. We didn't talk about the whole like last half of the season. So
yeah, okay.
He finds the friend, or I don't know if he's a friend, but that guy that goes around shooting dogs.
Yeah, which could easily be in his mind because nobody has seen this guy other than Kevin.
He said like look for like a black truck, blah blah blah, whatever, and then like one morning it's just like in his driveway.
That was one of like the opening scene too, because I tried to show my mom, and the opening scene is Kevin on a run, and he sees this dog, and he's trying to like get it over so he can pet it, and all of a sudden the fucking thing gets shot in the face out of nowhere with a shotgun. My mom was just like, "Oh my god, I can't do this show."
Yeah, it's just let you know right from the start, like this is not going to be a happy show. Like dogs will die. But he ends up, at one point with Patty, the leader of the Guilty Remnant, he ends up kidnapping her, like in his sleep, sleepwalking. Yeah. And he brings this guy up there, and like they tie her up, and then he gets up there. He's like, "Oh shit! Like we gotta let her go." And he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like you got me out of bed, you dragged me up to fucking upstate New York in this like random ass cabin, kidnapped this woman, and now you're just like, oh, let her go? Like fuck that! No, we gotta kill her." And he wants to let her go, and then she ends up killing herself, and then she ends up. You see this more in season 2 than anything, but she ends up like following him around.
Yeah, she becomes a ghost that pretty much haunts him.
Right, and that's kind of what happened. I don't know about the exact details about Kevin Sr., his father, but he had people talking to him like that too.
Yeah, and then he was like, I just started listening. And then like that's kind of I think what Kevin starts to do, and the more you listen to him, the more crazy you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Like being a schizophrenic, just being like, I got voices in my head. I just started listening to him. That's how like, people get shot.
Yeah. But so he comes back from that whole thing, and the town is rioting because the Guilty Remnant they got pictures of all the departed people, and they got these like lifelike replicas made in the middle of the night. They just put them in people's houses.
Yeah,
remember like the big dummies or whatever. And so people just lost their mind, and they basically just because like the Guilty Remnant bought up all these houses in this one cul-de-sac, and like people just went there, set the houses on fire, just beating the shit out of people. And,
it was awesome.
Yeah. And then right before this, Kevin's daughter Jill tried to join up with her mother.
She was because Jill was like, "Fuck it, I'm joining," and like my mom's gonna hate it. Like I'm gonna be there ripping cigarettes in her face, like and just like sacrificing my life, and like maybe that will convince her to come home and like leave this stupid cult.
Right.
So definitely worked.
Yeah. Well, so what happened is, this was a powerful scene when he comes back, had I guess his phone was dead or whatever. He drives all the way back from the whole Patty thing. And
buried her Patty in the woods, and with Matt. He called Matt and asked for help, and Matt helped him.
Right. Yep. Matt helped him. And then he comes back, and like all of his like police buddies like, dude, where the fuck have you been? Like this is like shit's hitting the fan. And he goes to like whatever, the cul-de-sac. And his wife Lori, or his ex-wife, is sitting there trying to tell him like the house, and then he's just like, what? And then the first time she speaks the whole season, like Jill,
like breaks her house. Yeah.
Like the daughter was in the house, like passed out or whatever. So he goes in, he saves her, and then like while they're on their way home, like Nora is writing this letter saying like, like I'm sorry, I have to leave, blah blah blah, like I can't do this. And she goes to his house to give him the letter, and there's a little Blasian baby. Yeah. Little Wayne's baby that got deserted with Tommy, and he has no to do with it, so he leaves it there. Mm-hmm. And this scene, I was in buckets when he comes back, and he had the wild dog that he captured that was just a lunatic. The dog was tamed. He has his daughter, and then his girlfriend's sitting there holding a baby, and all of a sudden, like everything that he lost that day, after the departure, how his family broke up, his son left, his wife left, like all of a sudden, like he had a family again.
Yep. because Tommy was back from Texas and he didn't know. Tommy was there. That was like what got me because he's been trying to call his son for so long, and it just came off like Tommy was a dick, but Tommy wasn't a dick at all. He was just being like,
he just
screwed my way in.
A crazy situation.
Yeah,
but that's like another thing is the music is phenomenal in the show. I mean,
best music of all time for any TV program.
Like I said, that one like piano riff it's in all the seasons, but it's like really heavy in season 1. Like it's like Pavlov's dog. I hear that and I start crying. Like I can't help it.
We'll play it when we go to the classic 4-pack.
I was going to do that as the outro song.
Yeah, we could do that too. We'll do a little like transition to the 4-pack too, and then you get Kane in there. But yeah, it might be the best show I've ever seen in my life. Like over Breaking Bad. Thrones fucked itself. Thrones had a fucking runaway lead and just pissed me off beyond belief where I forgot all the good parts of it. Now like it's up for an Emmy. I'm like,
fuck that.
Now we got to talk about it again.
They don't deserve it.
No way.
No.
I mean, the actors do, but it's just the fucking writers. They don't deserve anything.
Fucking cocksuckers. No offense.
It's all good. I use that word all the time. Yeah. So definitely check it out. I gave it it's like a 9.8 sticks of dynamite.
Ooh.
Yeah. Breaking Bad's like a 9.7.
Yeah.
And then I gave Thrones probably like a 9.5.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta like, even though like the last season is the freshest in your mind, you gotta think about the whole body,
the whole journey to the toilet.
You have a really good meal and it's just like, it ends in shit, but like that meal was delicious. You
all steaks come out, it's true, but at least you got the Klingon bowl.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, so go check it out.
Definitely go check it out. Fucking I've recommended it to 2 people. I've recommended it to everybody. Only 2 people took me up on it. My uncle and one of my friends, and they both finished it. Like they were texting me like after every episode, like crying. Just like a million questions.
It's an extremely depressing show.
And it's got a satisfying ending. Like that's the reason I started the show is because after Thrones left me so fucking like brokenhearted, I was like looking up like most satisfying TV show endings of all time. And like we get the forums and like Breaking Bad was obviously like the big answer. And then like Leftovers was on every single one, whether it be like the number 2 or number like 7 on the list. It was on every list. I was like, it sounds like a good show. And I watched it. It's probably the best show I've ever seen. So definitely check it out, Bomb Squad. All right, let's get to the classic 4-pack. Hit it, Kane. Do a little piano transition and All right. Thank you, Kane. I wonder how that sounded with like the piano transitioning until like, by God.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it sounds. I'm sure it sounds like because it's like this like peaceful kind of like sad music, and then all of a sudden like Kane just fucking steps back. Kane.
So I don't think we did this in the last episode. This question, I think I accidentally skipped over it, so I brought it back.
Okay.
So you find yourself in the Midsommar plot because your Swedish buddy convinced you to go. How do you go about it? Once you walk in, like what's your plan?
You got to realize that this is like a cult, right? You can't just like make a stink like these British people say, oh my God, we got to get out of here. Like, that's not how you get out of there.
Yeah.
So what you got to do, what I would do is I would wait till night, the way the black guy went to go see the book or whatever. And I would sneak out and just run as fast as I can through the woods and hope that by daybreak, I find some civilization to help me. That's the only way to get out because there's no cars. Like I guess there's one car or whatever. But like you're just in the middle of the Swedish forest. You got to hope to find civilization. Like you can't like tell them that you're leaving. You got to act like you're all in. And then just poof, gone.
Yeah, because they did drive there. Where do they leave the car?
Well, they parked at that one place, but then like they walked like through the forest,
right,
all twisty and turny to get to like the main encampment.
Yeah. So like I would have you'd have to go fucking find the rental car.
You just gotta hope that you can get, but then like you don't have keys. Like how do you gotta how to hot wire it? Like I don't like.
Maybe you'll have cell service by the time you get there, and you can call AAA.
Yeah, maybe, or you just gotta keep running, man. Like you gotta hope that you get a big enough head start that by the time they catch up to you, you found civilization.
Yeah. Yep. I think I don't know if that would work. You and I do not have the stamina to just run away through the woods.
Just like leaping over trees.
Yeah, you be hands on your knees, panting after like right before the woods, like the sprint across the camp.
Listen, when your life is on the line, you fucking
Yeah,
you got the adrenaline going.
that's
See,
true.
like, believe it or not, I do actually have pretty good stamina because, like, at work, I like speed walk everywhere.
Yeah, I could speed walk for miles. I can't.
So I'm not gonna be full on running. Like, I might run a little bit, but like, I will.
I'll do the Olympic fucking power walk.
Because you know what it is too is like in the woods at night, like you can't just run because you'll be like tripping over shit. Like you gotta like have somewhat,
I assume you got your cell phone on you. You can get a flashlight, but I think they got that covered. Like I don't think you could just run out of there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like guards and shit.
Yeah, there's got to be. I mean, when the black guy went into the temple to go steal the book, like there was just somebody walking around with his friend's face on, like naked.
Good point.
God knows what you'll see in the fucking woods at night, like with those people.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, the only other option is just join them. Just hope
That's what I have down.
Yeah,
completely buy in. I'm not here to do a thesis. Fuck them. I'm a marketing major. I'm here for the fun. Like, and I like you people. You seem really nice. You got really good drugs. Can I like stay here for a couple months? Like, and don't kill me, please.
It's like I see what you guys are putting down, and I kind of want to pick it up.
I'm buying in. I like the message.
I like your whole steez. Okay, I like what's going on here. I like the robes, the shrooms. I'm a fan of.
It sucks though because we're so old. Like being 27, because the next life cycle of labor is pretty close. You know, if we were to perform, so I think it's 36 is when you have to just like do labor until you die. No, you become an elder. That's right.
Right. Well, I mean, and what you do then is you maybe stick it out for a couple of years, hope that you don't get fucking sewed into a bear suit and burned, and then when they send you out on your pilgrimage, when they trust you, just poof, gone.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a sales guy. I can totally get people over here. I would probably do it. I would probably be like, I'll go bring people, and then like I will actually bring them.
Yeah, as long as it saves your ass. Like, listen, we're gonna sacrifice you, or you bring back like a bunch of American idiots. Like,
I'd come back and call the FBI.
There are a bunch of fucking weirdos, a bunch of nuts in the Swedish forest. Like, where's I don't know. Just like go to the Helsinki airport.
Just sweep the country. It's not that big. Yeah,
you got drones, you got satellites, you can find them. They have a giant yellow house that they set on fire. Okay, like you can find it.
Yeah, it's it's I would conform though. That's the only move. But I still think they'd kill you, especially if he brings you for this celebration, your fresh blood. I don't think there's anything you can do about it, right?
True, it's true.
Because like you don't get to win the May Queen.
What's his face? Christian. He had a chance. Like he was a dick. Like Danny could have chose the other guy, but she chose him.
Yeah, that was fucked.
Because like the girl Maya,
I think they permanently paralyzed him, though, which is fucked up.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they gave him, but and because the girl Maya was real into it. So like if she, if they saved him, he probably would have stayed and like been her boo or whatever.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know, but it's a very shitty situation to be in.
Yeah, because like the fucking you don't want to find yourself. What's the torture thing? What eagle?
Oh, the blood eagle.
Blood eagle. Have your lungs become your wings, and you're still alive.
Yeah,
and your fucking eyes taken out and replaced with flowers. Like, oh,
it's not ideal.
Not ideal at all. So you just gotta like be careful around there and just be like, oh, they're about to kill themselves. Cool.
Oh.
Nice. 72, right? Yeah, I was paying attention before.
Yep.
Life cycle. Got it. Ooh, that guy. He's still alive. We should go bash his head in with a mallet. Do you want me to help?
I got a mallet back in the bunks. I got a mallet. I brought it with me.
I got a mallet back in my car if you need me to go get it.
Yeah, just give me the keys. I'll go to the car. Yeah, don't worry. I'll come back with the mallet. Don't worry. You know what? We can even drive over his head with the car. I'll bring it back. I got this. Don't worry.
You know I'm gone. More mushrooms. But yeah, I think I would fit in well though. I think I'd be all right.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd make it.
No.
I would we went together, I'd be like, that tone's over there. He's no good.
Tried taking a picture of your book.
Yeah, he did. I saw him. He tried to steal the book. You should kill him. And you should spare me for reporting the truth.
Yeah.
They'd kill us both.
Yeah. We don't they'd be like, snitches get blood eagles.
Yeah. You'd probably end up taking a dump like by accident on somebody's ancestors, and they catch you and they like, no,
you shit on Grandpa Joe.
didn't know. And then you get your face cut off and somebody walking around with a soft dick. All right. Anyway, question number 2 here. You find yourself accused of being a witch. If found guilty, you get burned alive. How do you defend yourself in the court? The witch trial.
It's funny because I was kind of thinking of like this thing that I would do, not about being accused of a witch, but like what my answer is. I was thinking about this today, but I have the worst luck with like scratch offs. I would just buy a bunch of scratch offs and be like, look, I'm not winning anything. Like if I was a witch, don't you think I would make it win? Like just scratching, like, look, nothing. Oh, look, I got $2. Great. No, nothing.
I'll be the judge in this situation. You're faking it.
Or I'll just gamble on a game. Like
You're
just like show
gambling. Yeah. You just they say you're just picking the wrong answer.
Well, I can't do the sink or float thing because I float. So they would think I was a witch.
I float too.
I float like I bob around like a cabbage. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, how do you prove that you're not like how does that work? Like because it was basically impossible to prove it back. Like they throw you in the water, and if you sank, all right, she's not a witch, but she's dead because she drowned. But if you float, you're a witch. Okay, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah. If it got real bad, I would have to I would cut my finger off or something, or like a toe off, and show them that it's bone.
Well, right? Why wouldn't witches have bone?
Because they're made of wood.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the whole thing. That's why they float, because wood floats.
What floats? Very small rocks.
Exactly.
Monty Python, they weigh her against a duck.
Turn me into a newt. I got better.
I got better.
I think I would just try to logically get myself out of my bag. Look, do you hear yourselves? Huh? I don't know a witch. You fucking idiot.
Like witch. You ever see me ride a broom? I don't ride brooms.
You fucking morons. I'm riding a broom.
I'm a cauldron.
I just fucking go to work and come home just same as you. I'm just a man and my name's Fred.
I just go to work every day and just hope for Sunday. Watch football.
I know what it is. You guys are just fucking bloodthirsty. You savages. You just want to see carnage because you're fucking bored. I ain't a witch, you fucking dicks. I would die. I would get hung because of my language in the court. Blasphemous.
You know what you get? What you got to do is you have to blame. You have to accuse someone else of being a witch. Shift the blame.
I'm like, I think you're a witch, Judge.
Yeah, or just be like, yeah, her over there. She actually get anything you saw from me that made you think I was a witch. Like she made me do it. Like she put a spell on me. She made me do it. Like she enchanted me with her witchiness.
Yep, she's a witchy woman. I even saw her stirring a pot before.
Yep.
And she ended up forgetting something at the grocery store. She got in a broom and fucking flew there on it. So case closed.
I looked in the pot and it was like a neon green liquid, just bubbling and smoking, That
was it. That was all she wrote. Or going back to, you just be like, you know what, Judge? Like, I think you might be a witch. You sound like you're in witch denial.
It's like, you're a witch. He's, oh yeah, that's what a witch would say.
Yeah.
Put him in a pretzel.
You would know what a witch does because you are one.
Takes one to know one.
That's it. Burn this guy. Fuck you. Oh, man. Okay. Question number 3. If you could feel no pain for 24 hours, what would you do?
I'd do it all, man. I'd skydive, play in traffic.
You can still die.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, that's different. I thought it was just you were like invisible for 24 hours.
I'd jump out of a fucking plane. You wouldn't feel it. You just die. I don't think you'd feel it anyway.
True. Well, if that's the case, then I would just go pick a fight with the biggest dude possible.
Yeah, that's where my head was kind of going, where it's like you try to call somebody like, I want to fight like your biggest, baddest dude, but he'd still knock you out. Like that's the thing. So like that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt. You'd lose. But you get points though. You get street cred for putting up a fight and just eating punches.
I just my mind immediately went to that scene in Thrones where Theon was like fighting the guy and kept getting back up. Like he just hits you so hard you fall to the ground. And you're just like, oh, let's keep going. Just kicking you in the nuts, and you're just like, nothing.
Nothing there. Yeah. I have a great answer.
Okay, let me hear it.
I'd stage an insurance fraud accident.
Yeah, like playing in traffic, right?
Well, I don't want to get hit by a car and die, but I'd need to I'd have confidence enough to go fall down some fucking stairs.
Okay. Yeah.
Like be able to stage it nice, and like the acting will just come with it. And like I can just slip nicely and not worry about any of the pain. I just have to make sure I like, yeah, you know.
Did you ever see that video? There was like this older guy. I don't know if it was like a fast food restaurant or what, but there was like a drink machine, and he took like a cup of ice. He like looked around, and he just like poured it on the ground. And he just like walked over it and just like, oh,
and like gently fell on the
yeah,
floor.
exactly. But it was all caught on camera. Like he like poured the ice on the ground, looked around.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw
like,
that. That was the guy. It was his first day on the job. He like took the job to try to like file that, but you'd have to do. I mean, I would do it against the city. I would probably find like a big thing. Like I would find something at night that I can like manipulate.
And you know what you got to do is just go through New York City and just find every like those like grates, those subway grates, and just jump on them until you fall through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like or unscrew them, but you got to look at security cameras and stuff,
Yeah.
and like make sure the fucker goes through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, or maybe like I don't know, maybe get hit by a cab, you know, because they're reckless, like jump on the windshield, you know, they're only going so fast, don't go under the wheels, you know, won't hurt. But yeah, I think that's how you got to go about it, you know, got to find a way to profit off no pain for 24 hours. Okay. I was gonna say maybe get my fucking wisdom tooth taken out, but like they had to give you anesthesia, so
yeah. Well, not if you don't feel pain, they just rip it out.
Yeah, like I'm passing the anesthetics. I'll just look tough.
Do it. Just pull it.
Just fucking pull my tooth. All right. Last question here to wrap up the show and send you off to Alaska. What is the most overrated food of all time?
You're not gonna like my answer.
It's not steak, is it?
No. Pork roll.
Oh, fuck you.
It's like it's
wrong. It's no, you're wrong.
Why? It's the most overrated food. It's fried bologna. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. But it's you guys act like it's straight from, you know, God's table. Like he's like, hey, you want to buy this? Like
yeah.
No,
it's that you just like you're just a piece of shit.
I told you you wouldn't like it.
That's the one food I'll like. That's a hill I'll die on. Is the pork roll hill? Like, I mean, like, let alone like the people who call it Taylor ham. Like the people who say it's just not a good product. Like,
it's a whole other thing. You more just argue over the name of it. Like, it's just bologna. That's all it is.
It's not. We gave it to a guy from Carolina down at Daytona, and he loved it. He was just like, you know what it's like? It's like Spam, but it's not like Spam. It's way better. Like, it's delicious. And then he wanted to get the ingredient statement to see what they did. There's a lot of spices that go into it.
Look, I said it's not bad. It's just not fucking like you're acting like it tastes like
you probably just haven't had a good one.
Maybe, but I've had it a couple times. Like, all right, this is fine. But if I'm getting a breakfast sandwich, I'm getting a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Okay,
that's it. It's overrated.
Comes from the same animal, you know.
Yeah, but you could. It's all right. Like, just go. What's your answer?
Cake.
What kind of cake?
Like birthday cake, ice. Like I don't mind
cake.
No, I mean just cake in general, but like your basic like white frosted wedding cake. How about that? Like you know, just like white frosted cake, and people are just like, "You want some cake?" I'm like, "No, I don't fucking need that at all."
Agree. Especially when they put like strawberries and like inside. Like, no, I don't want your fucking cake. No, but like if you're talking like ice cream Carvel cake, that's just the bomb. I love that shit. But yeah, no, like the kind of like spongy cake or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like you said with the frosting.
I just
totally agree.
I'm just not a dessert guy in general. Yeah. You know, I'm usually full by that thing, and then it's just sweet and like awful. I'm pretty sure it's like hailing outside. You hear that?
I was like, I thought someone was in your house.
No, yeah, it's fucking like really thick rain.
Yeah,
like individual raindrops here. But yeah, cake. Don't offer it to me. I don't want it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll eat it. I don't enjoy it usually, but like I just
ask a fat. How did you get to where you want to eat cake? Oh, you know, I don't want it, but I'll eat it. I'm not hungry whatsoever, but I'll take it. Yeah, give me a piece.
Although one kind of cake that I've had that's good is like they instead of like using like they have like the layers. There's like the cake and then like the whatever the whipped cream. Sometimes they put cannoli cream in there in between the layers. That's fucking good.
Yeah. Cannoli cream, I don't like that much. It's good, but like I've never been like a big cannoli guy. Had a couple, but Just not. I'm not a pastry guy in general.
Fair.
You're not going to find me in a bakery.
Yeah,
Very often.
that's fair. Unless it's for Tom Sub's bread.
Unless it's bread.
Yeah,
Right.
fair.
Exactly.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. Time for you to go to Alaska. Time for me to make sure that we're like not about to get destroyed by a goddamn hurricane right now out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's pitch black.
It is dark in there.
All right. Thanks for listening, Bomb Squad. We will talk to you when you get back from Alaska, Tones. Have a good time.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening, Bomb Squad. Have a good week.